Good morning, class. It's time for our daily read aloud of the first rule of punk. And today we're going to read chapter 8. If you'll remember, the previous chapter had Malu going to the auditorium to get talked to about her dress code violation, and she was surrounded by other, I'm going to use the term misfits, people that were violating the dress code. People with dyed hair, people with inappropriate t-shirts, blah, 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 blah. And she had to take something home to get signed. I'm sure Mom will love that, huh? So let's continue her adventures on the first day of school. Chapter 8. At lunch, I grabbed an orange plastic tray and started at the chafing dishes full of food, unsure what to take. Yummy, right? A tall, long-haired kid in front of me grinned as the lunch lady dropped a spoonful of something yellow that looked like cream corn onto his tray. I looked back at the food on the other side of the plastic divider. I can't even decide. It all looks so good, I said. I have a system, he said. I choose my food blobs by color. No neutrals, only brights. Does that work? Not really, he said. It's all terrible. He picked up the instrument case he'd set on the floor and moved on down the line. Awesome, I said. But I took his advice. I avoided the gross, meaty brown blobs and settled on a green blob, an orange blob, and a red blob. The cafeteria was noisy, with kids laughing and talking, sometimes in English, sometimes in Spanish, and sometimes in a combination bouncing back and forth between languages. It was strange to hear so much Spanish. Back home, I almost never heard it unless Mom spoke it or happened to be listening to something in Spanish. I found a place to sit alone near the entrance for an easy escape, should I need it. It's a known fact that behind a book is always a good place for hiding and people watching, so I pulled out my copy of The Outsiders, the book assigned to us in English class. From my hiding place, I looked around for where I might fit in. Where were my people? I watched the kid from the lunch line sit down at the table with other kids who had instrument cases. The blue-haired boy who had been in the auditorium that morning slipped into a seat at another table. Nearby, Selena sat with Diana and a larger group. I watched them like I was an anthropologist. Being an anthropologist was my second career choice after musician in a punk band, so I studied Selena and her friends as if they were a newly discovered culture. The boys wore baggy jeans, puffy basketball sneakers, and huge shirts. The girls all wore similar outfits of tight jeans and t-shirts with stuff like cute, cutie, and seriously printed on them. Like Selena, they all wore candy necklaces. There should be something about candy accessories and misspelled words on clothes in the dress code. Selena looked in my direction, and I slid down in my seat a little, hoping she hadn't spotted me. Unfortunately, she had. She got up and walked toward me, arriving in a cloud of vanilla-scented perfume. She stood there as if waiting for an invitation to sit, but I didn't take my eyes off my book, even though nothing was coming into focus. Selena wasn't leaving. Hey, Maria Luisa, she finally said, sitting down next to me. It's Malu, I said. So, did you get in trouble this morning? No, I said. Are you disappointed? She stuck her thumb under the elastic of her candy necklace, pulling on a pink candy circle. She brought it to her mouth to bite into it. The circle cracked and a tiny piece of pink flew onto my tray. Look, I'm not here to bother you, she said, giving me a sly smile that said otherwise. Dad said being punk was about being open-minded, and that included giving people the benefit of the doubt. But I wasn't convinced Selena was trying to be nice. Where'd you move from, she asked. Florida. Florida, huh? You ever go to Disney? I shook my head. I've been twice, she said, with my dance school. This is probably when having friends came in handy. Florida. I assume they were from California. I was like a nation of one in the cafeteria with no one to help defend the territory. I know it's probably hard being new, so I thought you could use some help, Selena went on, finally getting on to the point of her visit. What kind of help? I asked, taking the bait. Someone to teach you how things are around here, she said. Trust me, it's a good thing they made you wash off that makeup. Only a coconut would do that kind of thing. What's a coconut? I asked. Of course you don't know what that is, Selena said. Never mind. She looked at the hole in my jeans and made a face. The point is, try not to be a weirdo if you can. She said the word weirdo like it was a terrible disease I didn't want to catch. I started to feel my ears burn like they do when I'm angry. I just want to read my book, okay, I said, hoping she'd lose interest and move on soon. You see those guys over there, she asked, not taking the hint. Why do you think they're sitting alone? She pointed to where the blue-haired boy sat with another kid. They didn't look alone to me. Weirdos, she whispered. You don't want to end up at that table. I glanced at the table where her friends sat, looking our way. I think I'd rather be at that table than yours, I said. Is that how you treat someone who's trying to be a friend? Selena pretended to look hurt. Listen, I know a weirdo when I see one, she said, and I'm trying to save you from yourself, Maria Luisa. Can you just go back to your table and leave me alone? Fine, Selena said, getting up. Let me know if you change your mind. She looked down at my shoes. Is that tape? I stared at the duct tape that peeked out over the sides of my shoes. Wow, she said, you really do need help. She made a disgusted face and walked off, leaving me feeling like something really low, like a piece of tape stuck to the bottom of someone's shoe. Ooh. She is not a very friendly lady, or a friendly girl, is she? Well, Selena, not being very nice. She acts like she's trying to be nice, but we all know how she's really being. Now, guys, check the prompts to see what you need to respond to for this activity.